did. And I know that we all destined for greatness, no matter what you've been facing. It's a marathon, no, it's not a sprint. It's for all of the trials and tribulations. Just look at my mom made it. I said I was gonna change it, I did. And I know that we all destined for greatness, no matter what you've been facing. It's a marathon, no, it's not a sprint. Trying to change for the better, all my city, see the difference. From the mamas to the children, every one of us is gifted.
Good morning, the back community. Thank you as always for staying involved. Thank you for staying engaged. Welcome to 2025. Happy New Year to everybody out there that's listening and everybody that's viewing today's episode. But it's the top of the year. At every top of the year, everyone's talking about the same thing. You know, the New Year resolutions, what they're gonna do, what they're not gonna do, how they're not gonna be friends with so and so anymore, and how they're going to go ahead and get their fitness journey correct. So, what I wanted to do to start us off for season 5 of the Back Community in 2025 is to bring a fitness legend onto the platform for us that can help us to make sure that we can strategically reach some of those fitness goals that we have for the new year. So without further ado, the first person that you guys are going to see for 2025 on the Back Community happens to be this young man, Anthony Carlo. It's Only Wait. And I really just want to say thank you for being on the platform, and I can't wait to dive into your story.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, man. I'm looking forward to this. I remember when you first hit me, I was a little nervous, but here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to get this started because I think that people need to understand, you know what I mean, what this fitness thing is about. So let's talk about it.
Facts. And if you guys, for all you people who tend to watch the video versions of our episodes, you know that this is a different layout for me. I decided to come into the my fitness place, my habitat that I like to go in and get my workout on because I'm ultimately motivated by what I see Ant do day in and day out. I don't have the gun show like he do, but hopefully, you can tell me a few tips of how to make things work because I definitely got everything that I need. So sometimes sometimes people think that you need all of these different things and you end up buying a whole bunch of stuff and that's not it. So I wanna figure out what the real plan is and what I should be doing.
So, when it comes to fitness, man, you really don't need a whole bunch. You just need to be able to move your body. You know what I mean? If you're blessed with the ability to move your body day in and day out, you should take advantage of it because you never know if, the next day is going to come or not. So, finding just a structure for yourself and sticking with that plan is ultimately going to be beneficial for you or for anybody because, you know what I mean? It's like I said, number one, it's not guaranteed for you. You know what I mean? As we wake up each and every day. So you might as well take advantage of it. And when it comes to it, all you literally have to do, you can be walking and that could be a fitness and health and wellness journey for you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be so much to where, especially when it comes to, social media sensationalizes a lot of, the fitness culture. It's not really that you don't really need to be, you know what I mean, like doing all these crazy things. You just need to have a will and a way.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I definitely like that one because it makes it simple. And one of the things that my wife and I had researched, it might have been this summer or last summer, they were just saying the best type of exercise that anyone can do on a consistent basis that'll give you um, the results that you're looking for is as simple as walking,
Yep.
right? And it's like people underestimate the power of movement and
Yep.
consistently moving. So most of us want to, I got a party coming up Friday. I'm gonna run like ham. I'm gonna do crazy so that I can look good by Friday. But what I've learned was that just doing something consistently as walking has more beneficial effects than doing hit or doing something like that and then allowing it to die off because you can't stay consistent with it.
Right. So, for me, when I train with people and I work with people, I'm like, man, you got to have a purpose. Even for myself, I got to have a purpose as to why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking a little bit off camera, but even on camera, my purpose has changed over the years. It's less about me and more about my ability to be able to take care of me. Does that make
Mm.
sense? You know what I'm saying? Like
Makes
I want to be able to take care of myself as I grow older. Not only do I want to take care of myself for me, but I want to take care of myself for my little one too. You know what I'm saying? So I want her to be able to have, the best father possible, the most physically fit father possible. Because, there's a point where I'm running around with her. I got to keep
Yeah.
up with her. You know what I'm saying? So I
Facts.
want to, in a sense, slow myself down and be that father that's filled with excuses. Like I don't want her to see that. So I show her what it's like to be physically fit. She'll be like, Poppy, you old, but you strong.
Mm.
I'm like, girl, go ahead with yourself, man. So, but nonetheless, though, I think it's important that you develop a purpose as to why you're doing it. Because if
Okay.
you don't, the chances are you're going to fall off. See, what you said was like, okay, if you got like a party to go to, let's say you got a vacation that you got coming up. Most people
Mm.
plan for a vacation. They want to look good for a vacation. So you're gonna work this amounts in order to achieve these results in that short period of time. Your vacation comes, after your vacation, you just fall off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now you're going for a moment. Once you reach that moment, it's like everything is just out the window. You can forget about it. I don't even want to do my fitness journey no more because I've already achieved my goal, right?
Mm.
That's just the moment. We all live in moments, and that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to the health and wellness field, you got to see it for a purpose and be purposeful for it. Listen, as I get older, I don't want nobody taking care of me. Listen, I got kids. I want to be able to play with them. Listen, I got this going on in my life. I want to be able to do this to its highest ability. That's what I want, as opposed to just being like, yeah, 6 months down the line, I got a vacation coming up, so I'm going to look good for this vacation. What else is
Mm.
it to it? What else is it to it? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think in terms of how is it going to make you feel and how is it going to translate into other areas of your life. I'm rambling because this is important to me, right? So when it comes to fitness and health and wellness, it's how it translates into other areas of your life. Yes, it's going to physically, it's going to make there's a benefit. It's going to make you look good. It's going to make you feel good, right? But also with feeling good, is that going to give you courage? Is that going to give you confidence? You know what I mean? Is that going to give you strength in other areas that you didn't possess before? Like, what else is it to it? And once you start to relay that and, encompass that and translate that into other areas, then you're on a health and wellness journey as opposed to a fitness journey. A fitness journey is cool, but health and wellness, more about longevity.
Okay. Okay. And that makes perfect sense. And you made me think about I did a keto diet probably about 2, 3 years ago, right? And I immediately lost weight, right? And I lost weight because I got rid of my kryptonite, as I like to call it. I'm a bread lover. I love bread, but I never really realized how much, it was really affecting me until I cut it out of my diet. When I cut it out of my diet, it was just like, oh, this is easy. I was like, I can cut weight like that. We said because you start to take out those things that are contributing to it. But I had a goal in mind. It was a short goal, and it was because we were going to Mexico. So we went to Mexico. Looked great. I had a blast. I ate every possible thing that I wanted to. So keto was done once we got to Mexico. So it was all drinks. It was all food, and I came home probably about 10 pounds heavier. Right, and I'm just like, well, I made it to Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that it makes sense though, you know what I'm saying? So now you
Yep.
start to understand what I'm talking about. So, I'm not saying that people need to go out there and completely transform the way that they eat, sleep, and drink type of thing. No, just be more mindful in your approach. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Be more mindful of it. And that's where the movement, like in a sense, every day comes into play. Because if you're not moving, then what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you got the opportunity to move each and every day. I hear people, find all the excuses in the world when it comes to, moving their body. Oh, I don't want to. It's too cold. Blah 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 blah. Well, you don't have what's that expression? You don't have no problems until you have a health problem.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you get the opportunity to be able to, move your body. If you're blessed with it, you should be able to. 20, 30 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be nothing strenuous. I used to work out, 2 hours a day.
Mm.
Don't ask me what I was doing.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, young and foolish, but ultimately, I learned that I can get more done probably within 30, 45 minutes, an hour tops than I've gotten done in a whole 2 hours.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about the time efficiency. And then when you got family, when you got a job, when you got other things going on in your life, sometimes that 2 hours is not there for you to spare.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you got to make do with, all right, what can I do with the set of dumbbells right here? Matter of fact, I got a yoga mat. What can I do with this in 20, 30 minutes?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You can make it work. You just gotta have that will to want it.
Mm.
Because if you don't, then guess what? It's not gonna work.
Mm. Or you're not going to be able to sustain it, probably.
Not. You're gonna
Okay.
come. A lot of people are filled with just too many excuses that they try to validate themselves all the time. All the time. I hear it all the time. And it's just like, if you just actually hear what you're saying, you're constantly repeating. It's the story that we tell ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It is a story that we tell ourselves. If we tell ourselves we can't do it, if we tell ourselves that we don't want to do it, guess what? We're not going to do it. We can't do it. It won't happen. You have to, in a sense, reframe your thoughts. You have to. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's not like, and you're going to have those moments. Oh, I got a vacation in 6 months. I'm going to look good for that vacation. What happened with you in Mexico? Right?
Facts.
Right. So there it is.
Yeah. Let me see, man. What was it though? I know you talked about your purpose, and your purpose was, like you said, later in life, or
Mhm.
you don't ever want to be positioned where someone has to take care of you if you can take care of yourself, right?
Right.
So, but when was it for you that you made that transition for yourself, and what was the catalyst that got you in it, and what kept you in it? When did you
Uh,
when did you crave fitness? When did you know fitness was your love?
Fitness was my thing ever since I've been a kid, man. When I first started out, I had a personal trainer for football. I was like
Mm,
16 or 17 years old. My father got me a personal trainer for football, and I just fell in love with it since. Ever since then, I've always been consistent with working out.
mm.
Always. I'm talking always. No matter what it looked like, I've always worked out.
Okay.
Didn't matter. There's never been a time, I can't even remember when the last time I took a full week off.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just always been for me, it's much more than just fitness. It's a
I just took a full week off last week.
hey, bless your heart. I wish I could. I find myself sitting still for like too long. I feel like I'm missing something.
Mm,
Like I could be out there doing something. So, regardless of if I'm actually lifting weights or
okay.
if I'm lifting my body, I'm moving.
Okay.
It for me, it's therapeutic. It helps me. You know what I mean? When you interact with a whole bunch of people throughout your day, you're gonna need some type of release.
Okay.
And so for me, therapy.
Mm.
So
There
that's
you
part
go.
of why I keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because people, but
Mm,
also, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm gonna highlight like my kid too. My kid is like my bigger purpose too. Like I
okay.
want her to see what a healthy lifestyle looks like. So when she sees that I'm active as a parent,
Mm.
she's gonna want that as she gets older too. She's gonna
I
remember,
agree.
you know what? I see my father do that. So let me do some of that too.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly, man. I got three boys and then my wife. And a lot of times we'll come at 5:30 in the morning right here in this garage, especially my two youngest ones. They know that they can't come out their room until 6 in the morning unless they're gonna come meet me here in the garage at 5:30. So they'll come knocking on the door and be like, "Hey dad, we going to the garage today? Hey dad, we going to the garage today?" And
Yeah.
it's extra motivation for me too, because sometimes I'd be like, "Nah, I ain't going." But when they want to go, be like, all right, I can't tell them no. So I guess I got to get my fat butt up and go. So
Yeah, man. Trust me. It's crazy how we can have such an impact, especially upon the youth. But even with other people and stuff like that, when people start seeing how you move and how you
mm,
operate, sheesh.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You can't, there's nothing higher of a feeling than being impactful when it comes to other people.
absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, yep, yep. And I think that's everyone always looks for the external rewards of working out, right? But a lot of what you teach isn't just about the external rewards, right? A lot of what you're doing is, like you said, you're working with individuals, you're coaching individuals on how to have a healthy fitness life,
Right.
right? So it's like it's not just about looking great, but it's also about feeling great. Your mind being in the best spot to operate how it's supposed to operate. Your body being able to function the way how it's supposed to. So how when it is that when you are coaching the individuals that you're working with, how do you get individuals to focus less on the external? That's the first thing that we're going to look for. Is my guns getting bigger? You know what I mean? Is my stomach going away? But and how do you preach the importance of making it a lifestyle, as opposed to those immediate external rewards that most of us, myself included, are looking for?
So as a coach, man, you got to build a rapport with the person that you're working with. So that means having conversations with them so you can kind of pick their brain and understand where they're at in their life. And with that, it's important to make them reflect upon their life, the decisions that they made thus far, and how they can change it going forward, and the importance of change it going forward. You know what I'm saying? They have to really ultimately, they have to see the reason why and understand the reason why. So when I coach people, I always ask questions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always asking questions to gain a deeper understanding. It's much more than just come inside, get your warm up in, do your workout. No, we're engaging in a conversation too at the same time. So I can get a better feel for you to understand where you're at. You know, because if I can't, my job as a coach is to help you grow. I don't want you to stay with me forever. I want you to have the tools necessary so that you can go to the next phase and next level in your life. Right? That's what a coach is, to help you out, to gain those tools so you can grow beyond, what we're doing right now. So for me, it's all about that conversation and the communication aspect of it all. And some people are, when people come to you, some people are closed off. Some people are, could be a little rough around the edges. But ultimately, once you show up and once they see you for you, they start to let down their guard. They start to, in a sense, trust you a little bit more, and then it makes it easier for them to be able to communicate with you, So
and it's like being the example. Like, you're an example. Like, so I would see you work out. I see the fact that you're doing it consistently, and it's just like, hey, well, you know what? If Ant's doing it, right, the same thing that he's telling me, he's living. And my pastor brought it up on Sunday. He used an example of Kobe, when they ended up having to do the redeem team, right, where they were going back to the Olympics, and they talked about being in Vegas and how when they were in Vegas, everybody else wanted to go out to go party, right? But they said they ended up going out to go party. They came back to where they were staying, and Kobe's like drenched in sweat, and everybody's like, "Yo, what were you doing?" He was like, "I was practicing." Right. And his level of discipline is what set him apart from everybody else. And he ended up being the example for everybody else. So those same people who went out the first night didn't go out the second night. People are like, okay, well, you know what? If he's in here getting it in this way, I'm gonna get it in this way too. And that's how the Redeem team went on to do what they did.
Right. So, you can compare it to the whole, for me anyway, I've always gotten a lot of backlash about, oh, you work out too much. Well, in a sense, if I do work out too much, it's for a purpose. You're not working out enough. I'm not throwing any shade at anybody. Yep. You're just not doing what you need to do. So in a sense, what you're saying is you feel envious about what I'm doing because I'm able to do it. I set myself up for this. You know what I mean? Like, I've conditioned myself to get up early. It wasn't the easiest at first. It was tough. It was challenging. I still don't like getting up. But you know what? I do it because you want to know why? That first part of the day is, for me, it's clarity. And then I can go on the rest of the day and be good. And then at the end of the day, I take a shower, I wash away the day, and then we repeat the next day. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I've conditioned myself to do such a thing. I've made it a habit. It's a routine. I'm so used to getting up. Half the time, I don't even need an alarm clock, because I'll roll over, hit that phone, turn it up, and be like, you know what? My alarm about to go off in 10 minutes. I still got some time. Let me lay back down for a minute.
That's what happened to me this morning, though, and it didn't work. I ended up waking up a whole hour later because my body is set the same way how you just described it, right? So most times, if I know I got to get up at 11, or let's say I want to go take a nap, if I tell myself I want to get up by 11, I typically can get up 15 minutes beforehand. But most days I get up at 5:30 every day, and I go through the same routine. I start work at 6, and I love it that way because while everybody else is still sleeping or just preparing, I'm already getting to it, and while everybody else is in the middle of it, I'm done. So,
you could think of yourself as like a Kobe in that, you know what I mean? Or Michael Jordan, not Michael Jackson. I'm sure Michael Jackson did the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? They started early. They got things done. They put in the work. They put in what was required of them to get to the next level. For me, I'm trying to get to the next level. And that next level is 39, 40, 41, all this stuff. That's the next level for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a relish in this 38 right now because I'm fresh, but I still got work to do because I know what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Father Time is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, dance the rounds with him as long as I can.
Ooh. Listen, as soon as you just said that, all I could think about was Mike Tyson in this ring not too long ago. You know, your Father Time gets us all. You want to be able to dance around in this ring, and we seen his legs, and it was just like they want to,
Yeah.
they can't move right now. So you
What,
are
what do
absolutely
you feel
right,
about
man.
that?
Father Time would get us all.
In my opinion, man, I feel like that fight was rigged. I feel
Really? Oh,
I'm gonna feel like that fight was rigged because if you seen Mike, he over here biting his glove and stuff like that. I feel like he could have knocked him out. But we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna
okay.
talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
no. It's good. It's good because I don't think that it was rigged.
uh-huh,
And I don't think that it was rigged. And here's the reason why, right? I,
uh-huh,
Most people don't realize that Tyson lost a lot of weight and a lot of blood as a result of that emergency that he ended up having with the ulcer, right?
right.
So, and I also think that Tyson has done so much work on himself mentally to be this stable version of himself that we all see now.
Right.
That when he's sparring, right, he's able to still do X, Y, and Z. But the last couple of times I've seen him in the ring, he'll end up being a lot more docile than what we've been accustomed to seeing Tyson over the years do. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of it has to do with where he is mentally. Like, I really don't want to go out there and go hurt nobody or kill nobody. And I think Tank said the same thing recently, which is why he's like, I don't want to do therapy because I feel like I'm gonna lose that monster, that demon, that energy thing that I draw off of if I go on and work on myself. And I think Tyson has done so much work on himself that it shows up the minute that the bell rings. And in sparring, it doesn't, right? He's still able to and you know he got it. But when it's live action, to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is
Touche. Touche. That makes sense. That makes sense.
what is this? But yeah, man, shout out to Tyson because he still won either which way because he took the bag home. So
That's a fact.
yeah,
That's
he
a
took the
fact.
bag home. He took the bag home.
Uh-huh.
Let me see, man. What was it about um um It's Only Weight, right? I know that you've created your own business. You're a health and fitness and wellness coach,
Right.
right? But what was it about It's Only Weight? What's the meaning behind It's Only Weight? And tell us more about the services that you provide.
Absolutely. So it's only weight. The weight that you carry is only as heavy as the thought attached to it. Let me say that again. The weight that you carry is only as heavy as the thought attached to it. So how will you know if you never even tried? See, most people, they feed themselves this story about what they can and cannot do. See, once you let go of that story, then you become unstoppable. But you gotta find it within yourself to be able to let go. So you can relate that to a workout. Oh, these weights, they look a little bit too heavy for me. Well, how will you know if you never even tried? I don't want to do that. I don't like the discomfort of this feels. Well, this is part of the process right here. And just like letting go of the story, it's part of the process. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but once you start to let it go, the better off you'll be. So that's what It's Only Weight stands for. The weight that you carry is only as heavy as the thought attached to it. It's about letting go. It's about releasing. It's about overcoming. It's about challenging. It's about strength, not in the physical, but in the mental. Boom.
Boom! He said, drops the mic.
Mike, man, I'm about to walk off right now. Just
Okay. And it's like my brother and I used to argue a lot about the physicality of life. And I
yeah,
remember at one point we had gotten to a place where he thought that I had gotten soft because I started to use my mental a lot more than trying to you know um, physically trying to dominate people, right? I learned how to use my mind in a way that is just as sharp and just as powerful
right,
than if it was you had to punch somebody in the mouth,
right.
right? But when you just talked about the mentality that you have to make these transitions, whether it's physically or on your wellness journey, I think it's really important. Like 90% of what we do is mental. So what you tell yourself, I love how you just broke down It's Only Weight. You know what I mean? What you tell yourself is a huge part of what you carry, how you carry it, and what you do with it.
Mhm.
Go
Yep,
ahead.
and it's important. I think that most people don't understand that a lot of the weight that they're carrying is up here.
Mm,
It's up here. So, you know what I mean? When you carry it up here, it's going to translate into everywhere else in your body. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to feel 100%. You're probably going to feel like, maybe sick half the time or ill half the time. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel depressed or unhappy or whatever it is that you may be, sad. You're gonna feel those things until you understand that you got to let go of some things. You got to let go of some things, and most people won't have that uncomfortable conversations. Uncomfortable conversations with themselves. It is important that you have those uncomfortable conversations. If you have to seek help, seek it. I believe in therapy. Hey, go ahead, do what you need to do. If you need to find, I call them drop off points. Drop off point for me would be working out. I'm dropping off what I feel at that moment in time. That's a drop off point. Some people find it in music, some people find it in dance, whatever it may have you. Some people find it in writing, but you have to understand that you have to find these things for yourself in order to release what you feel. Because if you don't, guess what? You're going to keep it all inside, and then eventually you're going to implode.
Mm.
And then when you do that, it's going to affect the people around you. And you don't even realize that you are affecting everybody around you until one day you're like, damn, what's going on right now?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at that moment, it might just be too late because you might have lost some friends. You might have, missed out on certain situations, all because you was holding on to some stuff. You gotta let it
Gotcha.
go. You gotta
Gotta
let
let it go. Gotta go. Well, help me to let it go by giving me three helpful strategies that I can implement. Three, no, not strategies. Three workouts, right? If I'm new to working out, right, and I want to get involved, it's the top of the year. It's the beginning of 2025. What are three workouts that you can recommend for a novice to go ahead and start and to start walking on their wellness journey? Give me
I
give,
would
give, give me give me three give me three of your go-tos that you will start with.
body weight squats, uh, push-ups. Some people can do pull-ups, and that's okay. Some people can't, that's fine. I would go jumping jacks,
Mm.
you know?
Why those four?
Well, pull-ups is important because it's the upper body, but then again, you got the push-ups, which is the upper body, right? You got legs, which is the squats, jumping jacks, which is the full body.
Okay.
Very simple. You could do that in your room. Anywhere where you got at least 5 feet of space, 4 feet, depending on your height and your what is this? You know what I mean? Anywhere that you can get it done, you can get it done. There's no excuse. There really is no excuse. If you can't do a push-up, you can modify that. If you can't go all the way down in your squats, go as far as you can. If you can't do jumping jacks like normal, you can modify that too. There's no excuse. You just gotta want it. You gotta want it. And if you don't, that's another story.
And don't waste this time. Don't waste anybody's time
Please don't
because
waste nobody's time, man, because you're just wasting your own time at the end of the day.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. What they say, my frat, excuses are monuments of nothing. They build bridges to nowhere, and those who choose to use them as tools of incompetencies are fools and masters of nothing. So this is not the year of excuses. The last interviewer that we had on here was my man, also Anthony, too, down in Dallas, Texas. But the subtitle of his interview was, no more excuses. So,
Right.
you know, if this is something that you want, what is the best way of helping a person to stick to their goals?
What's the best way to helping them stick to their goals?
Like
You
some people say, write it down. Some people say, get an accountability partner. To you, what stands out to you when it is that for the individuals that you do coach?
for people, have a purpose.
Purpose.
You gotta be purposeful. You gotta be intentional behind the things that you do. Because if you're not, the chances are you're gonna live for the moment. And that's it. It's cool to live for the moment in certain situations. All right, cool. I'm going to watch the ball drop on New Year's Eve. That's monumental. That's a moment, right? That's a good thing. But ultimately, when it comes to a health and wellness journey, you should want to do it for life. So what is it that you want to get out of it? You want to look good. Why do you want to look good? Is it going to give you confidence? Is it going to give you courage? You want to feel better. What is it going to do for you feeling better? You know, it's going to give me strength. It's going to, once again, give me that confidence. It's going to give me that courage. It all boils down to those types of things. It's those intrinsic motivators that'll keep us attached for a lifetime, as opposed to, the external, which is the vacations and things of that nature. Yeah, we can go on vacation. Yeah, we can slim down for that vacation. But as you know, once we come back,
Boom.
boom.
Life be lifing.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
listen, man. I want to do something that's fun, and I call it a 60-second rapid round session. Don't worry, it's no questions that's going to get you in trouble or anything like that. But I think that it'll help us to dissect Anthony as the person, because a lot of times, we're so dialed into our brand and to our purpose and who we are that we forget to showcase who we are just as human beings. So this 60-second session of rapid fire is why I like to do that. It helps me to learn a lot more about you.
Yeah,
All right, you ready?
let's do it.
All right, let me see. First question for you: if you had a favorite sneaker, what would it be?
Oh my goodness, the new the Valmeros that they're coming out with now, the Nike Valmeros.
Mm.
Ooh, I got a pair of them joints on right now. Let me show you real quick. Camera, the camera need to see. You see this?
Mm.
Ooh, anyway, that's my favorite pair right now.
Favorite pair, favorite pair. Let me see. If you had a favorite season of the year, what would it be and why?
It'll be fall.
Mm.
Not too hot, not too cold. You know what I'm saying? You could still dress down or dress up depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? You could look real extravagant, or you could just keep it casual.
Okay, okay. What's your favorite cheap meal or snack? If you had a one of those days where everything, the stuff that you're supposed to drop off, you're unable to drop off, but it's saying, listen, I'm going to my cheat snack or meal today. What would that be for you, Ann?
Favorite cheese snack? Dang. You know what I do like? One of my personal favorites. I wouldn't say I have a favorite meal because I enjoy all food, but one of my favorite little snacks, man, Andy's mints,
Mm,
chocolate mints, the chocolate with the little mint in the inside. They usually come out around the holidays.
mm.
Oh,
Never heard of them.
you never heard those?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, man, I gotta send you something. Change your life.
Okay,
Change your life, man. I remember those just bring back such nostalgic feeling when I was a kid. So I still love them to this day. That's my favorite snack, if anything. It's a little chocolate, but that's all right.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
And if you were to, if you had to choose between fear or love, what would you choose?
What would I choose? I would choose fear to overcome so that I could turn it into love.
Mm.
Yeah. I would choose fear to be able to overcome that fear so I could then turn it into love.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And last question for you for this session of rapid fire. If you had to choose your favorite rapper or rap group, who would it be and why?
Favorite rapper or rap group? Dang, who's somebody that I just like? Dang, that's a good question. I'm gonna go. My favorite rapper will probably be old school. I'm talking Biggie.
Okay.
Biggie would be my favorite rap group. Would probably be Bone Thugs. My favorite rapper nowadays is probably Drake.
Mm.
Um,
Ooh.
yeah, probably Drake nowadays. Um, but then again, I'm such a music head. I love all music. It has to make sense though. I don't like the stuff that don't make sense that they just be putting out and it's just like noise. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta listen to the lyrics and be like, damn, that's okay, all right,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
No, but that's it.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you for indulging me in rapid fire. And I'm gonna piggyback on that last one. Drake is dope. 2024 was probably not his year,
Mhm.
but as an overall artist, he's an amazing artist.
Right.
He always has been. I was a huge Drake fan before a lot of people even knew about him back when he had comeback season and all of this stuff going. But 2024 was rough for your boy.
It was though. But you know what though? Numbers don't lie.
Mm, mm.
Numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna leave it right there. Numbers don't lie for them boys. So
Okay.
you know,
Okay. Well, anywho, I see he's making his little subtle jabs as he loves to do. He is the
Mhm.
king of subliminals. So,
Right.
he's coming at LeBron right now with fighting Irish and whoever else he wants to come at. So, I wish him success in 2025. And, I do hope that, he lets some of that stuff go. As you just said, some of that stuff you gotta go. Even when you gotta take
Exactly.
an L. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm gonna take it on the chin, but guess what? My catalog and my career and what I mean to myself and the world is way bigger than this moment. Don't get
Right.
lost in that moment, Drake. You know, if you happen to watch this is for you. Don't get lost in that moment. You know,
Right.
as my man Ann said, drop it, let it
Drop
go,
it. Let it go.
let it go. Yeah. Okay. I always like to ask everybody on the platform something that is unique to you. I ask everyone the same exact question, but it hits everyone differently, right? It's my favorite question to ask in 5 seasons. So, if you had to define success, how would you define success, Ant?
Success would be impact, creating impact amongst the people that I come in contact with. I think, to be impactful means a lot. To be in a room full of people or to be known for something, that's powerful. You know what I mean? That can change lives in a lot of ways. Especially if you're in a realm in which I am, yeah, it's impactful. So for me, success is ultimately having an impact upon other people.
Okay. Okay. And and I think that was one of the things that stood out to me about you when I first met you. I first met Ant, I want to say it might have been 2 years ago
Yep.
at the Makers of a Man conference, and we ended up sitting at the same table. And we both were speakers at that event. But it's like when you got up to speak to the entire group, you talked about, as you just said, impact, right?
Mhm.
And it's not just for the external, but it is for you. You know how a lot of what we go through and how we process it is mental, and working out is just a part of your wellness journey. It's not the overall, or it's not the only part of the journey, but having a healthy mental is made up of physical fitness, spiritual fitness, all these other things that you have to go that you have to embody within yourself in order to be that healthier version of yourself. And that was one of the things that stood out to me, because I think when we talk about fitness, a lot of people only focus on the physical aspects of it. How do you look? Right. But I think that there's so much more to it. And that's what you preached to us that day. That's what you preached to everyone that you work with. And I love that it's not just about looking great, but it's also about having, a well balanced approach to life and a strategy about wellness. Yeah.
Right. Important. It's important. I think you said, like you said, strategy and coming up with a game plan and being purposeful behind the things that you do. Because the way you do one thing is the way that you do everything.
Mm. Okay. Okay. How early, if actually take that back. I was about to ask you something, but I think I might have already answered it in my head. But I'm gonna ask it anyway. But I was gonna say, how early do you think that it is important for us to teach health and wellness to our children? And what are some of the activities that you would recommend?
Um, you know, it's very early. I can remember, my kid being around me when she was in the thing. What's the thing called? You hold the kids in. What's some things called? The seat.
What?
The seat.
Oh, the car seat. The car seat.
Car seat. The portable car seat. Yeah,
Yeah.
you put them down, and they just watch you from an early
Mhm.
age. Or she would come to my place and just kind of just hang out with me, and she would see what I would do.
Nice.
So she's always been around it. So I would say, as soon as you can, as soon as the kids open their eyes, it's important. Some people don't have that mindset, but yeah, the earlier the better though, because then you can start to impact them in that way. And then they'll see, in a sense, the standard in which they should hold themselves accountable to as they get older.
Gotcha.
So strategies, there really is no strategy for me anyway, I would say, because it's like it's all based upon the parent and what they want to do with themselves and with the kid.
Gotcha.
Everybody's different. But for me and mine, my kid has been around. She's seen it. She'll
And I
still,
think that's good. I
yeah,
think it's good because, we are our kids' first teacher,
right,
right? And in a lot of ways, we're their only teacher. So
right,
they're picking up indirectly from us more than we could ever imagine. So, it's if they see us doing nothing, they might take on that same mentality too. Might not, but if they see us doing more, they may take on more too. They might not, but once again, you're a living example of what to do, and I'm not just telling you what to do, but I'm showing you what to do, and I think that makes a huge difference.
exactly,
It makes a
exactly.
huge difference. If what is it, Out of everything that you've accomplished thus far in your life, right? I got two more questions for you, and I'm gonna let you go.
Yep.
Out of actually take that back. I got one more question for you, and I'll let you go. Out of
Okay.
everything that you've accomplished thus far in your life, what about your life's path are you most proud of, Ant?
Jumping out of an airplane.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell
Mm,
you why. Because that was a pivotal moment for me. Because at that moment in time, there's no excuse but nothing. If you can jump out of a perfectly good plane and skydive and put your faith in somebody else, you could pretty much do anything. That's like
ooh,
that's you're putting your faith in whatever religion that you believe in, whatever higher power, whatever prayer. It's the same thing, right? So if,
mm,
for me, if I look back upon that moment and I'm like, I just jumped out of a plane from 10,000 feet in the air.
mm.
I can do anything. And you got this look on your face like, oh, wait a minute.
Listen, listen. My insides are still rumbling. It's like I can. It's like I can feel the wind hitting me right now.
But you know what though? Once you're up there, at first it's nerve-wracking, but once you're like free falling and once that parachute comes open, man, it's like no better feeling in the world. It's
Mm,
no better feeling in the world because you're just up above everything, just floating around. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking, but it's a sense of accomplishment because you know that you just achieved something that most people won't do. So for me, that was that pivotal moment. So I'll look back upon that and be like, you know what? If I could do that, I could do anything.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm glad you've seen it all over my face. I have no poker face. It says it all because I'm just like, listen, I thought that I wanted to jump out of a plane,
Yeah.
but the way my stomach is set up, and I see that on all roller coasters, is just like that drop is
Yeah.
is everything. So, but I have flown a plane before, so
Okay.
but it's not the same as I'm dropping from ten
Right.
thousand feet in the air.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
super
Big,
dope.
big difference.
Big difference, big difference. We coasting here. We coasting.
Exactly. Exactly.
we coasting. Well, and listen, man. I wanted to tell you, like I said, man. Everyone that I bring on this platform, I bring for a reason. I believe that what it is that you're doing with your health and wellness journey for yourself is tremendous. You're definitely motivation to me. I also realize that you just celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday to you. Wishing you continued success in 2025. But before you go, you got to tell us about this new program that you kicked off. What the program entails, how people can sign up for it, and how people can find you.
Yeah, so I'm heavy on Instagram. So Anthony Carlo _1. That's how you can find me. The program that I just dropped is a simple and efficient program. So it's basically we're starting from the ground up, giving people the foundations, and then each and every month we're going to build on top of that. So in a sense, we're going to help you with the confidence. We're going to help you with the structure. We're going to help you with just in case you won't got no time because it's really just time manageable. It shouldn't take you that long to get each and every one of these routines done. It's a 5-day split. Every week we'll have a weekly check-in on a Sunday. We'll be alive through the app, so you'll be able to ask questions amongst the group. You'll be able to ask questions to me, and yeah, we're focused on progressive overload. So people who don't know what progressive overload is, we're going to change up the variables, either the weight that we use, the reps, the sets, the rest time. Those things are the variables that factor into progressive overload. So we're going to focus on that. So we're going to be utilizing the same exercises for the same 4 weeks, and then every 4 weeks there will be a new program uploaded and available to you.
Mm, mm.
So
Okay.
you'll be able to find that. It's in a link in my profile on my IG. So once again, it's Anthony Carlo _1. Anthony Carlo _1.
Okay, and I'll be sure to drop the exact link underneath the video once we go ahead and release this video today.
Okay.
So if you are looking for a health and wellness trainer, a fitness coach, Anthony Carlo is the man to check out. And one of the things I love that he preaches is that no excuses. So whether or not you live in the same area as him or not, there are availability. He has availability online, which is one of the beauties that came out of the pandemic. There were a lot of negatives that we've experienced as a result of the pandemic, but there are a lot of positives that came out of it. And one of them was to be able to have this level of interaction with anyone in any place of the world without having to be there physically. But how has it been training people? Or what can you say to anyone who believes that they need to physically be there with you as opposed to a virtual experience when it comes to fitness coaching?
You just that's an excuse point. That's an excuse. Ultimately, you just need to be. You got to have a will. You got to have a purpose. You got to hold yourself accountable. It don't take much, because there's all kinds of ways that you'll be able to reach out to your coach. You know, to be able to communicate with your coach, just in case you have any questions, comments, or concerns.
Gotcha. Well, listen, the back community, you got a chance to hear from himself directly, Anthony Carlo. It's only wait. He also let us know how to contact him if we are interested in his services, which I hope we are, because I'm going to get off of a camera right now and I'm going to work out here in this gym. At least I do 30 minutes on a treadmill or something like that. But I do wake up with my jumping jack. So I'm glad that that was part of your top 4. But thank you for being on the back community, man. I think that what you're doing is dope. I wish you continued success in 2025. And I can't wait to get your story out to the people, bro.
Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, have a good one, back community. See y'all next time.
It's for all of the trials and tribulations. Just look at my mom made it. I said I was gonna change it, I did. And I know that we all destined for greatness, no matter what you've been facing. It's a marathon, no, it's not a sprint. It's for all of the trials and tribulations. Just look at my mom made it. I said I was gonna change it, I did. And I know that we all destined for greatness, no matter what you've been facing. It's a marathon, no, it's not a sprint. Trying to change for the better, all my city difference. From the mamas to the children, every one of us is gifted. It don't matter where you from or where you going, we all in it. Might as well just spread the love instead of hating, just uplift.